Hey, go ahead and take this sales interview process, bring it into your business so you can hire more reps and make a lot more money in your business. I've literally used this process and I've interviewed probably over 1,000 different sales reps. I've successfully hired over 200. And even right now, I'm using the same process where I've built a 15-person sales team. In the first 5 months of our business, we're gonna do $5 million probably our first year in business. And it's big in part because of this process that I use. Hey, my name is Taylor Robbins. I'm an entrepreneur and I make a lot of these videos honestly so I can document it for my kids so they can have good business knowledge and acumen when they grow up and own and run their own companies. Let's get into the video. Okay, dokes, artichokes, let's get into the actual process then. So how you guys can find and hire really great sales reps and how to do this at scale, because sales, that position is a revolving door type of role, which means you have a lot of churn, which means you honestly, if you're trying to build a big team, you should always be hiring weekly, if not monthly, and if not definitely quarterly. So let's get through this. So I'm gonna go through my 5 steps. The first part is your application flow. How do you set up lead flow for applicants? Then we're gonna go into the application type, which is gonna be a massive time saver for y'all. And then the first interview that we do, which is what we call a reverse interview. I'm gonna get into that. It's very interesting. It's very different from what you've done probably. Then there's a skill interview, which is probably very close to something that you've done. And then a mystery number 5, which this is honestly the secret sauce for us and how we put really good reps into the business. So let's get into this. Application flow, we wanna have multiple channels of flow. So for us, we'll use recruiter, like agencies, okay? And then I'll use my own content, and then we'll do something more traditional like LinkedIn ads, okay? We'll just call this ads. I've gotten good applicants from all 3 sources, but the idea is to reverse engineer y'all's numbers. And I'll come back to this page in a second. But when you're talking about hiring and building a big team, let's say the goal is to have a 20-person sales team, okay? So this is the goal. But let's also say to have 20 people for the year. Let's say your churn is a 30% churn, or let's call it a 25% churn every 6 months. So you have a 50% churn annually, right? 25% in 6 months. So let's say you have 50% churn per year. That means to maintain 20, you guys will lose 10 per year. You have to hire 10 per year just to maintain 20. So that means you need to hire 1 a month just for maintenance. And so if we're starting from scratch and we're trying to get to 20, well, then you're gonna have to add 1 a month on top of what we're about to reverse the numbers to. So for us, let's say if I get 100 applications, I'm usually gonna take 50 of those to our first interview, okay? From there, honestly, another 50% get weeded out to the skill interview. I'll explain why later. You guys will see from the steps when I come back to it. So that means now we've got 25 for the skill interview. And then from there, I usually, if they pass this, my offer rate from here is about 80%. Let's just call that, that means I bring 20 people in from 100 apps from the skill interview. And then I usually have a 50% drop off in the first 30 days during our number 5, which I'm gonna come to. So when they get onboarded, so really I have a 10% throughput. And then remember, 25 or 50% of these people are gonna leave every single month or every year. So let's say I'm actually gonna lose 1 a month. So to get to 20, then and I wanna do that, let's say in 2 months, well then I'm gonna need 200 applications because my throughput is 10%. Making sense, right? So I just want you guys thinking through your actual numbers. Like, okay, so you need 100 applications a month if you want to get to 10 hires a month and you want to get to 20 in 2 months. So just something to be thinking through, okay? So I have app flow from recruiting agencies. They're sending me flow. People see my content on Instagram or YouTube, even though there's not that many watching it yet, but I still have gotten some hires through here, and then we run ads. Then that brings us to the app type. This is gonna be the huge time saver for you guys. We do a video application, okay? I do not care about a resume. I don't. Why don't I care about a resume? Because sales is all communication. And so I wanna see their communication skill right away in the initial application. Because I don't really care about background. I've had great salespeople who had no sales background, and then I've had terrible salespeople who had a ton of sales background. So to me, the resume piece there doesn't really tell me if I have a good hire or not. But what does tell me is like, can this person put a sentence together in a video? If they can, and they have just some of those soft skills, like they have the right demeanor, the right energy, the right sort of confidence, the right sort of clarity with their words, then I know, okay, they're at least worth an interview. They can piece some words together. Or if they have a bad accent, or they aren't clear communicators, or they're rambling on and on and on, they didn't even answer the questions I asked them to answer in the video application, well, you're done, right? So I don't even need to think through that. And I use, just so you guys know, the tool, it's called Video Ask. It's by Typeform. I don't get paid or anything from telling you who we use, but that's who we use. Then comes the reverse interview. So I see the application. I'm like, yes, they're putting words together. They can communicate. Let's put them in an interview. Okay, and then the reverse interview happens. What is the reverse interview? Well, normal interview, you're asking them questions, right? Tell me why I should hire you. The reverse interview is a little bit different, and it gets me the information that I really want very quickly, because I know how smart you are or how good at your job you are based on the questions you ask me. Plus, salespeople need to have high conviction in the product and in the company and in you as the leader. And so I want them to feel good about me. So I kind of need them to interview me so they feel good. They're selling themselves towards me, the business, the company, and the offer. That will solidify what type of person is gonna come into our culture and into our team, because they're gonna be a true believer, versus someone that I tried to convince and sort of push over the line and like, come on, come work for us, right? So I don't want that to happen. So that's why I reverse interview. So I let them start. So they start and they ask me questions. And then I'm listening to the type of questions they ask, because if they're asking about the offer and fulfillment, that's good, because that means they care about the clients getting a good service. So if they're asking around that, if they're asking around the marketing and how we generate the leads, that's good, because they want to know when they take up a lead and they turn a marketing qualified lead into a sales qualified lead, they should be asking around that process to know what it looks like. And then they should be asking me the right questions on KPIs and numbers. Like, I want to hear them asking me like, hey, what's your guys' reschedule rate? What's your guys' admin cancel rate? What's your guys' no-show rate? So what is your show up rate? What is your guys' current, your paid in full rate? What is the team's blended closing percentage? Who is your top closer? What is his or her closing percentage? What is his or her show rate? What do you guys do to increase show rate from the sales rep standpoint? I want to hear them asking me those questions, because now I know I'm like, ooh, you're good. You're asking me the right stuff. So I let them start. Then I go into, because then basically they're like, hey, tell me about the product and fulfillment. I wow them with our product and fulfillment. I wow them with the type of business like infrastructure and all that. When they ask about the marketing, I wow them with how we generate leads and how good the leads are and how ample the lead, like how voluminous the lead flow is. So they know they have lots of opportunities. They're asking me about the numbers. I wow them with our numbers and how much data and analytics that we track. And this makes them feel really good about wanting to work for us, which is what we want. Then I go into my questions. So then I go, and then I'm asking their numbers. So last offer, what was it? And then last numbers. And I will do it in reverse order to see if they're lying. So I'll be like, what was your cash collected? Okay. So how many direct bookings did you have? Okay, how many of those showed? Okay, what was your average order value? Okay, so what was your paid in full rate? Okay, and then I add the numbers up, and if they do come back positive as the cash collected they told me, I know they're not lying. But then I'm like, dude, your numbers don't add up. Then I realize they're lying, done. So I weeded out that person through doing the reverse interview this way. Making sense? Hopefully it is. All right, let's bring it back. I know there's a lot here, guys, but you gotta have a good process if you want this to work. Then we bring on the skill interview. So from this reverse interview, I send them our sales training portal. So I always build a custom portal, whether it's my company or a company I've consulted for. There's a sales training portal that goes over the script, the process, the confirmations, the triaging, the objection handling, the live call reviews, the live team calls, the winning calls. All of that is packaged into an automated course that they go through. I have them go through the course because I am looking for two main things. We're getting a little bit low here, okay? So I'm looking for two characteristics: coachability and work ethic. I wanna know that they're coachable, they can learn, right? That they're humble. And then I wanna know they're gonna work their butts off. So if they go through this course, they do it quickly, I'm like, cool, how'd the course go? They get bought in on our sales process. Again, they become a true believer. And then I quiz them on like, cool, walk me through, this stage of the script. What are the questions? Okay, if you're outbounding, open up the outbound call. Let's role play. Hey, how do we handle the spouse objection? They role play. Then I know if they actually did it. I can go back and look at the course. Did they complete 100% of my course, or did they lie to me? They said I did it all. I'm like, yeah, you only finished 41%. What are you talking about? I'm weeding out people naturally because I just found I could never really identify a good salesperson unless I actually got them doing stuff. So I have them do stuff. So we are now at the final stage. So you gotta have ample lead flow for applicants. I would recommend a video application because it's communication skill. Reverse interview, see what kind of questions they ask, make them sell themselves towards you versus you trying to convince them to work for you. Do a skill interview. We're making sure they're coachable, they have work ethic. Okay, now, what do I do? We do the soft hire plus onboarding. Now there's a lot of components to this, but why do I do a soft hire? I bring them on because even if in the interview process they look athletic, I don't actually know if they're gonna be good until I get them on the phone. So I have to get them on the phone. So let's look at if I'm hiring someone as a closer, okay? And I'm soft hiring, this is what we do to make it low risk for me, and I wanna see coachability and work ethic. Our ramp up to see if someone's gonna be good is 45 days. It's not 2 weeks, it's not 3 days, it's 45 days. Why? I have literally had one of my top closers now. He was 0 for 25 on offers. That's not calls booked. 0 for 25 offers made. So it was like 40 calls. 40. But he was training. He was going through all the onboarding. He was sounding good on the phone. There's just little micro adjustments. And he was going above and beyond the training we were asking him to do. Then 1 week later, 8 out of 16 on offers. Now he's one of our top closers. So we take time to let people ramp up. We pour into them, okay? But here's how it looks. If you're a closer, you come on, I'm gonna give you 2 direct bookings a day. So we'll feed you, but then I need to see you do 100 dials outbound like an SDR and set your own closing calls. This gives them a lot of practice with the script and process. It shows me that they're gonna put the work in. If they're not doing 100 dials a day, I'm like, look, you don't have the work ethic to be here, sorry. Let's say they are closing. Then we go to 4 direct bookings and they go to 50 dials. We continue the ramp up until they get full time, okay? So that's how we ramp up. And then we give them lots and lots of training. So they have the portal that they train through. They have 7 training sessions per week. Yes, 7. 7 training sessions per week, per 5-day period. Why? They need lots of call reviews. They need lots of role playing. They need lots of practice on top of the 100 dials and the 2 calls that they're taking. But when we do this onboarding process, this is how we ramp up the right people after we've weeded them out from all the stuff prior. So I know this was a lot. Hopefully you got value from it. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, or tell me why it wasn't valuable, and then I can make a better video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you.